Hey YouTube, this is Real Talk with Scotty B. Today we're going to talk about my 2016 Chevy Impala Limited Police Interceptor. This is kind of a buyer's guide, so if you see one of these out in the wild, maybe on Facebook Marketplace, you kind of want to pick one up. Had this for over a year, so I can tell you guys about it and my experiences with it. Let's go for a drive.
So a big difference between the civilian model and the Police Interceptor is the fact that you have a column shifter. Also, you have vinyl floors, which is kind of neat. You don't have to worry about buying WeatherTechs or anything. Now, the seats are going to be cloth in the front, and they're going to be vinyl in the back. Now, the cloth seats, I don't know what they use for the material, but it is very comfortable seats. And, you know, mine did not come with the center console. So I found this out of a parts car, and the steering wheel was the regular urethane steering wheel, and it was disintegrating. So same parts car, I got whatever parts I needed, but any 2006 to 2016, all the parts are swappable. And what's cool is this LTZ, more premium steering wheel that's leather wrapped, it has the radio functions. It just plugs right in and works with the regular stock radio. So now you have your volume controls on the steering wheel, and then the cruise control, all that works. So honestly, these are pretty neat. My father had an Impala before of this body style. It was a 2009. It was an LTZ with the 3.9. It was a good car. And when I was looking for a winter car, just a cheap vehicle, I found this one, and it was really inexpensive. I paid $4,000 for this, and it was the best driving and best running car that I found. And I was even looking at more expensive vehicles. I was even going up to like $10,000, $12,000. And this thing needed a little bit of work. I mean, it's a little rough around the edges, but I mean, you're looking at a $4,000 car, plus, you know, it's got 205,000 miles. Well, now 207. But it runs great. So big performance differences between the Police Interceptor and the Civilian Limited. So you're gonna have the 3.6 liter V6. It's a good motor. You're looking at like 305 horsepower, and you have a factory engine cooler, factory transmission cooler, and a power steering cooler, plus a heavier duty cooling system, a bigger radiator. Also, you have tougher struts, a beefier suspension, you have beefier brakes. So in a way, you know, I'm not trying to say it's like a performance car, but it was designed for high-speed police chases, and also so that the vehicle would be survivable. So if you're looking for something that's a little beefier, like, the police cars are not that bad to look at, and if you find a good one, I mean, it seems like they hold up pretty well for what they have to do. And this one drives great. So I acquired this one about a year ago, and it needed motor mounts. I drove it for a little bit. You got to drive the car for a little bit before you kind of, some neighbors I'm waving at, and yeah, you got to drive it for a little bit to get to know it, find out if there's any problems, because there were no apparent problems when I purchased it. And you know, then I noticed there was some clunking in the front, they were engine mounts. The engine mounts are known to go bad on these. And then I periodically checked the oil, and I noticed I had some low oil. So I'll show you guys under the hood in a little bit what is a common failure with these 3.6s, where they'll consume oil. But it wasn't a big deal. I didn't spend that much money making this thing, in my opinion, perfect. Just, it was a center console to change the steering wheel. Those are personal preferences. But I put tires on it because, you know, it's my winter car, and this thing did very well in the winter. I was a little skeptical at first going back to front-wheel drive for a winter vehicle. I moved to an area that's hilly, and we get a lot of snow. Like, you might go to bed with no snow on the ground, and you'll wake up with a foot plus. And sometimes they can come down and plow, and sometimes they don't. But I was very impressed with how this performed in the winter. So I'm gonna hold on to this one for a little bit. The mileage doesn't worry me. It still runs, drives, shifts great. And these are very easy to maintain. I mean, it's almost comical. It's just, you know, simple oil changes. The transmission's serviceable. It's easy to change. And the rest of the parts, you know, it's based off of a 2006 Impala. So it's built like a car that was made 20 years ago. Very simple. Simple to read, easy to read gauges. Simple to operate switches. Simple to operate door handles. The radio is basic and simple. It even has the AUX port or even a CD player. And you can remove this radio easily, and you can actually plug other things in the back to give you Bluetooth access or just replace the radio if you need. The sound system, I think, is good too. And everything's power. Power mirrors, power locks, power windows. I mean, if you want a budget vehicle and you want to save some money on maintenance, you want to save some money on insurance because this thing's cheap to insure too, this is a very good platform to go with. You can find these cars cheap. This one, I bought it. It was from the South, so it's not rotted out to oblivion. It's in very good shape. I did oil spray it to kind of protect it for a little bit. And you know, you could find these cheap. A lot of people don't want them. The body style to people is outdated now, but I mean, let's be honest. You're going to drive something from point A to point B, and if you know, you're going to get stone chips from the freeway, you're going to get damage in parking lots and stuff. You might even have somebody ding your door when you pull in someplace. With this, I don't really care. It's more budget car, it's cheaper. So, you know, that's kind of the freedom that I like of having a cheap car that you can buy with cash. And if you're looking at an Impala, you find one out in the wild, you know, you think it's going to be a good option for you, I recommend it. This car's been great, and I hope to have several more years with it before I need another winter beater. Let me show you guys under the hood real quick. So here you have your 3.6 liter V6, and what I was saying earlier, obviously here's your oil filter's right down there. The transmission's serviceable, it's easy to get to right here. And there's your coolant reservoir, air filter, everything's easy to get to. Your battery's here, it's kind of tight here, but it's not that bad once you figure out how to take it out. Now, there's the new, they call this a torque strip, but it's part of the motor mount system. Now, if your 3.6 is burning a lot of oil, I found back behind the intake manifold right here, you really can't see it, but you can feel it. There's a hose that comes down on this valve cover here. There's a PCV valve, or a crankcase ventilation vent, much like this one. Now, if you're burning a bunch of oil, the first thing I would tell you to do is take this air filter box apart, get to this tube. If this is filled with oil, you'll have a bunch of motor oil in it. This crankcase breather or PCV valve back here is plugged, and it's pushing the oil through this tube into there. I changed that, and it has not burned oil. I checked it. It's got about 2,000 miles on it since I did it. So we were going through a quart approximately every 600 miles. So I'm pretty sure we're good there. But yeah, that's the problem I had with this and the mileage it's had. Other than that, it's been a good runner and gets pretty decent gas mileage. Hope you liked that car review. Hope it helps you make a good decision. There's going to be more Chevy Impala content in the future, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.